morning, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm just sharing the link with everyone on the group. Fantastic. How's everybody's week been? I see a lot of you guys have sent me messages that you are making progress with the latest education that we've been giving. There we go. People are joining in. Okay, so we have the inspector working. I am busy with updates on it. But let's move over to the pattern labs. Give it a second to catch up with what it's busy with. Go to Bitcoin and let's see what we are currently looking at, guys. I mean, that was a decent setup that the pattern labs gave over there. Quite a nice level of take profit. The question is, guys, how do we identify levels? How do we identify them? Good morning, bad boy. Good morning, Kilo. Everything is good on my side. You're not late. We're still giving a little bit of time for more viewers to join in so we can then do some questions until we get the people to join in. Let me ask you guys, is the music too loud? Is it bothering you guys? If it's bothering you guys, we can switch it off. It's a new thing that I'm trying to see if it's going to help you guys to stay in tune with the live. So let me know what you think. Okay, I can see the viewers are starting to join in. Hopefully the music can help you guys to stay in tune and help us grow with the live together. Okay, maybe slightly lower. Let's go with the volume. Take it just a notch down. Let me know, guys. Take it down a notch. Let me know if it's good for you guys. Okay, so let's take a look at this setup on Bitcoin. So we can see if we have found our targets, our target areas. So, I apologize, guys. This microphone of mine is a little bit flat. Let me just grab the other one for you guys real quick. Okay? So the microphone went off. I act Can everybody hear me now? The other microphone was a little flat. I apologize, guys. It went off. I connected the wrong one because I have two of them. So I will have to rerun that for you guys. So I really hope you guys can hear me now. Nice and clear. I apologize. My microphone was flat, guys. Okay. So how many of you guys were trading Bitcoin? How many of you guys? I didn't see a lot of trades on Bitcoin. I'm guessing it's because of the spread. Now, I want to tell you guys something that I know. If I trade Bitcoin, yes, I am aware of the spread. That's why I'm using the higher time frame to target the bigger moves. But as we've all seen, Bitcoin on a zero point zero 0.01 lot can be a lot cheaper to trade than what we think. So the only time the Bitcoin spread becomes a problem is if you are looking for scalps. But let me tell you guys something. Bitcoin moves slow, but if it moves, it moves. It picks a direction and it moves in that direction if you get the correct confluence on the setups going forward. Look at that, guys. Like I said, when Bitcoin decides a direction, like over here, it's decided to go bearish on the 1 hour, okay? And that was a significant move to the downside, okay? Then Bitcoin has decided to go bullish again on the 1 hour time frame, and it made a significant move to the upside. So that's what I expect from Bitcoin. Here it went bearish to the downside. Even that's a significant move, guys. On a 1 minute time frame, that's a huge move. That is almost 80, I would say 80 times the spread, guys. So the spread would be a fraction of this. So that's what I like about Bitcoin is when it decides to go, it actually does give significant moves. That's also what helps when it comes to the spread. So all I do is I calculate the spread into my trades. That's all I do. I do take compensation for the spread. Let me tell you guys something. I'm not going to let a 5 or a 10 rand spread stop me from capitalizing on the move in the market. Unfortunately, on all the brokers, Bitcoin does have a big spread. For swing trades, guys, I would use the higher time frames. So tell me, guys, what questions do you guys have this morning? What questions do you have? We are currently still running this series on the liquidity. And I'm going to show you guys on the newer model what I'm looking at, more or less. So I'm going to repeating a lot of things. I'm going to be repeating a lot of things throughout the live session. And if you're not following me on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube as it helps my account to grow. So like I said, guys, there is a lot of you guys that has messaged me and told me that you guys have had significant improvement. Wild Moonchild, yes, I do use the 1 hour time frame on Bitcoin. It doesn't give a lot of trades a week for me, but when it does give a trade, it actually does give a significant enough move for the spread not even to be merely a profit. So that's one of the things that I look at is the higher time frames when it comes to Bitcoin. Like right now, there's not much going on Bitcoin. So as we can see, even the Pattern Labs is having a hard time finding something significant to happen. That is correct. With the higher time frames, we have to be patient. We absolutely have to be patient on the higher time frames. Shiron, not much. I actually have seen very successful trades with a low balance as of 10 or $15 on Bitcoin if I find the correct setup. If I find a good setup, I can capitalize on the minimum amount, which is a zero point zero 0.01 lot, and then target a significant move with that amount. Yes, I can show you guys on the high spreads how to actually trade on it. Okay. So yes, if you open up the trade on Bitcoin, it is going to start in a negative with the spread. Okay. Because you first have to purchase the spread and then the move of the market is going to capitalize and bring your spread either into a loss or into a profit. That's why when I set my stop loss, let's say I was doing this entry, okay? Now I'm looking at price. Price is approaching this, and I have decided this high is my stop loss, okay? And the next liquidity is my take profit. Now I have established that, okay? So to compensate for my spread, with this high being my stop loss, I would set my stop loss just a little bit higher just to cover the spread. Okay. So I'm willing to risk that spread and look at the move so far it has capitalized on. Now, by the time I reach this area, I'm already in break even with my trade, including the spread. Okay. So everything from here on down is profits into my trade. So now this is my target and I know I have a spread. So what do? I just set my take profit a little bit above the target, enough to cover the spread. Let's say the spread is this amount. Okay. So I would just set my take profit a little bit above. Does that make sense for you guys? Morning, below. So let me know, guys. Like I told you guys, from liquidity to liquidity, from liquidity to liquidity, from liquidity to liquidity, from liquidity to liquidity. Can you guys see that? Liquidity to liquidity. So liquidity to liquidity, liquidity to liquidity, liquidity to liquidity, and liquidity to liquidity. Is this liquidity only formed after that move? What I also do for the spread is when I open a position, I would open another position that is double the size of the spread. Okay? So it would have the initial same stop loss, but its take profit would be the size of the stop loss, including the spread. Okay? So the first take profit would then be over here. Okay, so then I'm break even and my running trade is capitalizing on the rest of the moves. Guys, all trading is money management. Money and risk management. That's all trading is. Yes, the older liquidity that has gotten swept does count if I'm actively trading that liquidity. Okay, so this is new liquidity. This has already been swept. While it has not been swept, as we can see, it's just been tested. Okay, that's why this liquidity is still active. So currently on the 1 hour time frame, there's two active liquidity zones. Can everyone see that there is only two active liquidity zones on the 1 hour time? See, yes, there's only two active liquidity areas on the 1 hour time. I want you guys to tell me, what is the probability of price coming back for this liquidity and going back to that liquidity? Because currently price is on the way to this liquidity. Okay, so if price reaches this liquidity, I know there's a high probability price might sweep this liquidity and then go back to this liquidity over here. Does that make sense for all of you? And that, guys, is how powerful liquidity is within the market. Okay, so this is a three times confirmed liquidity area. If you look at this, guys, if you didn't know where liquidity was and you were trading, this would be your stop loss. These lows would be your stop loss, if I'm correct. Now, that's what the institutions look at as well. So I'm expecting price to come and grab the stop losses from this area to this area. This whole area is liquidity, guys. This whole area is liquidity. Everybody see that. That was past liquidity, okay? Then price moved on and it grabbed the past liquidity, okay? So then this became past liquidity. Price came back down, it grabbed this past liquidity and it continued to go up. Do you guys see that? So all the liquidity over here that's not projecting forward is past liquidity that has already been taken. So the only two liquidity areas available that has not been taken are these two liquidity areas. Okay. So does anyone have any questions about what we're currently speaking about? Let me know in the comments, guys. What's the questions that you have? How do you identify the liquidity? Okay, so that is what I'm going to be teaching you guys as we progress. But the liquidity consists of double tops, double bottoms, and areas in the market that price is consistently touching and not breaking. Okay, so let's look at this. If we go back onto the pattern labs, this week was the first section for this liquidity bar to form. Okay, as we can see, it was a strong rejection week. Okay, and then there was another week following it, closing in the same area as this week. Okay, so there's rejection in this area. Then price moved on. It continued over here. This liquidity has not been confirmed, guys. This liquidity has not been confirmed by these two. So as price progressed, it was seen that consistently in that same area, there is rejection in that area. Could everyone see the rejection? Ignore these candles and look at the rejection. Okay, so spotting liquidity is not easy. You have to have a lot of experience to spot the liquidity. Okay, so then price pushed past it again and came back and respected that same area again. By this time, the pattern labs has confirmed the liquidity. Okay, so the first part of this liquidity, we can see it's a double liquidity zone that is confluencing into a bigger liquidity zone. Okay, we can see price came back, it tested the liquidity because the liquidity has confirmed on this candle. Okay, on these candles, the liquidity has confirmed, price rallied up, formed new liquidity. Okay, by that time, I'm out of the buy. Okay, then I'm waiting for price to retest the newly formed liquidity and I'm targeting the previous liquidity. Now, it does say sweep, but it isn't a confirmed sweep. Okay, this candle just initiated that price is likely to continue to go up. Okay, so on this entry, on this candle close, my entry was over here. My stop loss was just below the liquidity, and I was targeting the previous liquidity. Okay, so here goes previous liquidity. That previous liquidity got swept completely. Look how high that sweep went through that liquidity. Okay, it was grabbing all those stop losses and trade orders from this area to that area. Okay, and then price came back down and it formed new liquidity. So now that it has confirmed the new liquidity, this pops up on the pattern labs. These candles did not exist by the time this liquidity has popped up. Okay, so then I can see price came back. It retested the liquidity. So with this candle close, it would have been a good entry with the candle close. But when I see this, I know that if price gets into that liquidity, I'm in with stop loss above it. And then I'm targeting the next liquidity. So I want you guys to pay attention to Bitcoin over the weekend. Hopefully by tomorrow, we will be sweeping this liquidity. Okay? Okay. I want you guys to take a look at this. I want you guys to take a look. Now, this is not a valid set, okay? Because on the 1 hour, I just moved to the lower time frame because I see we have a question on this. If you see this ball on a confirmed setup, what do you guys think that this ball means? If you see that ball bouncing up and down on a confirmed setup, what do you guys think that that ball means? This is all. This analysis on the lower time frames are formed by lower time frame analysis, guys. Okay? This is formed by lower time frame analysis. So the liquidity on the lower time frames is not as accurate as it is on the higher time frames. So if I'm consistently trading from liquidity to liquidity on the higher time frames, that is what I am consistently doing. Okay? So all these areas, all these highs, people set their stop losses at all these highs. Okay? That's what they do. They set their stop losses at all these previous highs over here. Look at that, guys. That's where people stop losses are. This is where people's stop losses are. People that entered the sell trades over here has set their stop losses above these highs. Okay? So for smart money to continue moving, they need to grab that liquidity for fuel to support their position. Let's say someone wants to open up $100 million sell position. There is no liquidity where price is currently for that order to be open. So we know for a fact that throughout the weeks, smart money also wants to make. Now, what is smart money? Smart money are the institutions. Smart money are the big dogs in trading. Uzbeks, yes, we are going to break that down in a little bit. We are going to do a introduction. We also have some videos on YouTube, um, past lives that were recorded. If you guys want to go look at it, a lot of it has introduction in. But in all the lives, we do a breakdown and questions close at the end of the live so people can understand how to use the indicators. But in order to use all of the indicators efficiently, liquidity has to be taken into consideration. Is it Gazbacks or is it Goosebacks? What's up, Devil? You're not late. We're still discussing the same thing. Right. So, does anybody have any questions regarding how to understand and utilize from liquidity? So, what I would be looking for from Bitcoin is a push past this liquidity and then a bullish correction. Once I see it close above this liquidity again, I can expect a retest and a continuation all the way up to this liquidity. And this is what it's going to look. This is what it's going to look. It will push past, it will break above, it will retest the liquidity, and then it will continue to go up. So I would be looking for something like this or this, okay, over here. Once I see that, I know that's a confirmed sweep of the liquidity. And then in order for price to continue pushing down even further or to continue going higher, even higher up, I know that this liquidity also has to get grabbed. It doesn't mean 100% that it's going to, but for me, that is confirmation to take the trade. Gosbacks. Okay. Yes, and there is a reason why since I started the series on the liquidity, there is a reason why I have been receiving messages from a lot of people saying, thank you for the improvement, I'm doing better, all kinds of stuff like that. I even had someone messaging me this morning saying that they actually made good profits for the first time. Good morning, Alistair. And liquidity is on all the markets, guys. It is on all the markets. So now price has come to this area on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, price has come to this area. Now price is at this area. Then I can go to the quantum lens. Freaking locked me out. Why would it lock me out? Okay, so let's go to Bitcoin on the quantum lens. Okay, let's find crypto, Bitcoin, done. I have added Bitcoin to the quantum lens. I'm on the 1 hour time frame. Now I know that this is the area of the liquidity. Okay, then I would start looking for bullish analysis. This is a bearish analysis. Okay, I think everything will be bearish. So at the previous liquidity, which is over here, okay, there was bearish analysis like this. Then I would start engaging in the bearish analysis. So once I've seen the liquidity, okay, I would have taken the setup because we haven't reached that liquidity yet. Yes, it more or less looks the same. I will jump back to the sweep. So for the quantum lens, how I do my entries on the quantum lens, now this entry has confirmed with this candle, okay? So price isn't far away from the order block, okay? So then I would insert my sell entry. I would be targeting the levels of the quantum lens with my stop loss just above this entry, okay? And as we can see, that was a full range that it has capitalized on. Now guys, look at the lower time. This is not an entry worth taking with the spread. It is too small. It's not worth it for me to do this. So the quantum lens is just for a refined entry. So this is something that I would be looking for at an area like this. Okay, because that's new fresh liquidity. I would have been looking for a bearish analysis and then I would have engaged in the bearish analysis. And look over there, guys. There it is. Okay, and that was the full range. You guys see that? There's the wick on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, this is that wick on the 1 hour time frame. It's that wick. This wick is that move on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so now it has tested the liquidity. I'm waiting for a confirmation. It gave the first one over here. That could have been a start off entry. That could have been one, but it's small. So this is a bigger confirmed entry for me. Okay. Now I'm seeing this, and there was a retest on the liquidity. Then I'm taking this second. Berry, is it Berry? Berry, I actually have a PDF on my website. If you log into MikeFX34.com and you go to downloads, you'll see there is an educational PDF that shows you exactly how to identify these. Now, with the quantum lens, you don't have to see the order block because it finds the order block, the fair value gaps, the break of structure, and the change of characters for you. It finds all of them for you. Our order block consists, for a bearish order block, consists of the last bullish candle before a bearish move. So the last bullish candle got broken by these bearish candles. Okay, so that's the order block. The bullish candle that got broken by the bearish move. And a fair value gap is an area where price moved so fast that the opposite directional traders barely had a chance to step in. That causes a fair value gap. Price pushed past, it retested the fair value gap, and it continued to rally down. So over here, price has respected the fair value gap. I wouldn't necessarily call liquidity support and resistance. If you can't find the liquidity, you are the liquidity. Support and resistance can be a lot of things, guys. Yes, liquidity is some form of support and resistance, but it is the most used form by professional traders to remain profitable. So no, I wouldn't necessarily count it just as support and resistance. I would actually count it as the best form of support and resistance. There's a difference. You get weak liquidity and you get strong liquidity. Weak liquidity is what an average trader considers support and resistance. Strong liquidity is what the professional traders consider support and resistance. Barry, I want you to send me a WhatsApp so I can send you the PDF that's going to teach you the engulfing candles and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to give you just a normal morning star. This is an evening star candlestick pattern. Okay? As we can see, this was a bullish move and it was engulfed by a bearish move. Okay, so this is a three candlestick pattern indicating a bearish direction. We can clearly see that over here, price has broken below the previous bullish impulsive move, and it closed below the previous bullish impulsive move. So that forms a high. It's a strong high. That is a high that I can trust in order to continue with my trades. As you get more experience, you will find more refined entries. Like this was a confirmed entry for me. Why? Because I'm experienced. I have seen on the pattern labs that this is, in fact, a retest of that liquidity that is newly formed. Yes, that is the truth, guys. If you can't see the liquidity, you are the liquidity. That's why I have inserted the liquidity areas into the pattern labs. And guys, it takes a lot of time to learn how to see the liquidity. You guys are going to have to study it as you go. It takes a lot of time. You're not going to learn how to see the liquidity in one day. You have hundreds of candles doing hundreds of different things on the charts. Let's take the liquidity away. And then we change to this Ethereum. Where is the liquidity? Where is the liquidity, guys? Because this is what you get if you're new and you know nothing about trading. You get the candles. That's what you get. This is all you get. I wouldn't trust this setup, guys. I'm not trusting this setup. You can't expect yourself to know all these things in one day. I know everybody wants to know it in one day. It's not going to happen, guys. If you want to be profitable and you want to be consistently profitable, you have to study. You have to make time. And you have to stop making excuses for yourself why you're not making time. If you really want something in life, you have to go out and get it because nobody's going to go and get it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Everything in life, 90% of the people around you don't even want to see you progress. They either want to get you dependent on what they can give you, or they want to control you, or they just don't like you enough to see you progress in life. That's 90% of the people in your life. And that's the reality of life. People are selfish. Everybody has a selfish side to them. Usually at accumulation, that is a good point, bad boy Fisher. No, you don't get a degree in one week. This is the mistake that a lot of people make. And we do have some of them popping in on the group thinking, I'm going to do one trade and I'm going to be a multi-gazillionaire. I'm going to buy the world. It doesn't work like that. The market's going to slap you on the wrist and it's probably going to call you a very bad name and teach you a very hard lesson. Yes, everybody, you can consider this for everyone. If you actually have, if you're one of the lucky people in this world to have a real person and friend in your life, and I'm not talking about a spouse or anything, I'm talking about a friend, somebody external. If you are privileged enough to have a person like that in your life that supports you and really wants you to grow, hold on to that person, guys. They don't come very often. They're like fine wine. So, guys, if ever any one of you guys really wants to make it work, believe me, guys, it's hard work. It is hard work. And I'm not talking about beating yourself down in the sun and all kinds of stuff like that. But building something that can change your life, does take dedication, effort, time, and consistency. You can't build a business, you can't build nothing without discipline. We even have a discipline journal for you guys. Now I know a lot of you guys came here because you want to learn how to trade. Okay? So the only thing that you have to do in order to reach that is a little bit of consistency, effort, discipline, and not give up. Because if you give up, you've lost everything that you have inserted into learning. Giving up is a guaranteed loss. It does take time. And yes, you do get demo accounts and all kinds of stuff like that. And they are helpful in the beginning when you learn to trade. But almost every trader I've met who has traded on the demo account and become profitable on a demo account ends up saying to me, I don't understand, Michael. I was profitable on the demo, but on a real account, I keep blowing my account. Because if you do fake things in life, you are going to get fake results. You are going to get a fake psychology. And once you start doing the real things, the hard stuff that is required to succeed in life, the scary stuff, only then you will start seeing real results. How many of you guys got taught in one day how to make $1 million in anything, not just trading, in anything? How many of you guys has managed to make R1 million in one day without gambling, without anything? You just decided, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try one or two things, and I made $1 million. So now that we have established that, guys, you can get this in a book. If you guys want, I can write you a book about the pattern labs, and you can go and read the book. See how far that's going to get you. It's going to take you 5 times as long to find the areas that you're looking for. It's going to take you a very long time to learn where they are. As we can see, there is no new liquidity that has formed on Ethereum. So for those of you guys, when we were looking at the blank chart, thinking that, oh, I can see where's the strong liquidity at. Here's the reality check, guys. This was the last liquidity zone, strong liquidity zone. So there's the reality, guys. It isn't just something that you're gonna walk into the market and find without actually studying how to find it. That's why I'm here, guys. I am here to help you guys. I'm not finding a valid liquidity setup on Ethereum. I'm not. Let's go to Bitcoin. Where's the liquidity? This is the 1 hour time frame. Now you have a trained expert called the Pattern Labs that's showing you exactly where are these areas. And here's actually a double area, guys. This is a double area of liquidity. That's why I built the pattern labs, guys. This thing took me an extremely long time to build. An extremely long time. Do you guys know what it takes to get this thing to accurately display everything that you guys are seeing today? Do you know how long it takes? How much dedication and discipline it takes to be precise? I could have built you guys a Hong Kong indicator and bluffed you guys, but I don't, because I actually want you guys to win. So I built you guys something proper. Trial and error, many times before I released it. Many days I was sitting here pulling my hair out of my head because the code didn't want to work with what I wanted it to do. And I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be the best product in South Africa. So if I can exert that discipline to build you guys this, all my knowledge into an indicator, the least you guys can do is learn. That's why I don't see excuses as valid, because excuses sounds best to the people making them up. I want you guys to repeat that phrase. Excuses sound best to the people making them up. Rome wasn't built in one day, guys. It was a long time because I had to do it precisely. Good morning, Liana. Now, there's a lot of people, I'm seeing much less people in the live today. And one day the AI bot is going to release, and the people not pitching in are not going to get it. We're not going to do the handout thing on something so significant. It has to be earned. So let me know, guys. What questions do you guys have? I mean, come on, look at this. This was the same thing that we were doing on the TikTok live on gold this week. This is an inverted head and shoulders. Gold was doing a normal head and shoulders and it went down. This was an inverted head and shoulders with liquidity supporting it. Look at that, guys. Price rallied up, home liquidity, pushed back, retested the liquidity and shot up. Then price formed new liquidity, retested the liquidity and is now targeting the previous liquidity. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. So if you want to know how I enter on the quantum lens, as soon as this forms, if price isn't too far away from the order block, stop loss just above the order block, targeting the rest of the area. When it gets to take profit one, I'm moving my stop loss into break even. Okay, so then I'm in break even, including the spread. As we can see, it pulled back a little, it didn't take me out, and it continued to rally all the way to number two. As soon as we get to number two, I'm pulling my stop loss into area one. So now I'm a full range into profit, targeting area two. And then area three gets hit, I am back with my stop loss in area two with my one trade already taking profit. I do 3 trades on a setup like this. I enter 3 positions, targeting all the areas, and one by one, they complete their profits and I trail them behind the price, the ones that's left over. Yes, that liquidity is still there because it hasn't been touched or swept. That's what I'm looking for, guys. And come on, how how much more do you guys want on the platform? Look at that, guys. Brand new, fresh liquidity, unmitigated, untouched, unswept, fresh zones, showing you guys what price is looking at. Only thing we have to do is wait. That's all we have to do is wait. What is price gonna do? Where is it going? Do you guys think the institutions makes tiny little moves like just one this one little candle? No, guys, these guys want to make the most that they can from the positions that they enter. And they will eat you alive along the way. Now, this is only the strong liquidity zones, guys. This is what these used to look like. At a time, this used to look like this, giving a range. Now, this is a big range. So, this is a blessing of a range, guys. If I opened up a big and nice position over here, I would have had a good time all the way down here. They call it stop loss shots. But the reason they do it isn't just to take you out. They cannot enter their large positions without somebody being willing to pay in the opposite direction. Let's say they wanted the market to go further up from here. They can't enter the position over here. Okay? So what they do is they take out some of their capital that made the market move way up there. So they start taking out that capital. That pushes price down, leaving liquidity all the way from there to there in the market. So let's say they wanted to do $100 million buy. Okay? You can't just enter $100 million buy into the market. You're going to have to wait for the perfect conditions to do that. So now there's nobody willing to sell $100 million. So what they do is they remove capital, forcing people to sell the amount, taking out the uneducated traders, so that liquidity becomes the opposite direction of what they want to trade in. So then they utilize that liquidity to balance out the market. That liquidity gets swept. They enter their positions and bam, there they go. Because right now there's enough money in the pool of the market for them to counter the position. Does that make liquidity something that you understand a little bit? Do you guys understand liquidity a little better? You have to understand what it is you're dealing with. Now, they fake out in both directions. If they want to sell $100 million, somebody has to be willing to buy $100 million. If they want to buy $100 million, somebody has to be willing to sell $100 million. That's where the retail traders. So all the tiny little trades adds up. Let's say it's $100 million. Every retail trader that gets taken out with $1, they only need 100 million trades. But the reality is, a lot of the traders don't get taken out with $1. Some of them get 10, 15, 100, 500, 700, all kinds of stuff like that. So all that gets calculated together, and then they can enter their position once the expense of their trade has been paid. So if you can't find the liquidity, you're paying for a big bank to make money. That's how the world of money works. The world of money works like this. If you want to make money, you must get a client, take the money from their pocket, and put it into your. That is how the world of money works. Money is a vicious cycle. That's why the whole world is revolved around a psychological matter of a dependency on money. And once you start seeing it for what it is, you already built an advantage in life to obtain money. Everything in the world revolves around money. How many of you guys can go to the toilet without paying at least 50 cents or 1 rand in total just to go to the restaurant? Let alone everything you have to buy in life: food, clothes, diesel, petrol. Everything revolves around money. And the worst case is, guys, money is something that doesn't even really exist. It is a virtual thing. So if you start looking at the market from a psychological aspect, you can reach a point where you can make life changing money. You can change your life. Let me tell you why most people in life do not succeed. Most people in life do not succeed because they are lazy, and they're even too lazy to admit that they are lazy. Achieving great things in life costs a lot of effort. It takes a lot of dedication. Okay, yes, you're working a day job. That's fine. You can pay the bills and all kinds of stuff like that. Tell me in the comments, guys, how many of you guys has a secure pension fund that's going to give you a good life when you retire? Let me know in the comments, guys. While you guys sort out that, if you guys want to achieve things in life, you have to work for it, guys. It's not going to come cheap. It's not going to come fast. Okay? Go to the inspector. I want to do the Bitcoin. Let's do the 1 hour. As we can see, nothing on the 1 hour. Okay? So we know now where the liquidity is on the pattern labs. It's these areas. Okay? So now we go to the 15 minutes we can clearly see that there is a probability for price to push down. That liquidity has not been swept. So if this was called, I would have maybe considered this setup because it is moving in the direction that the market wants to go. But I wouldn't necessarily do it on Bitcoin because it's too small, to be honest with you. You can if you want, if you're willing to capitalize with a little bit of the spread that there is. But for me, on the 1 hour, nothing's happening, guys. Nothing's happening. It's still pushing in the direction of the liquidity. So not much going on even on the 1 minute, guys. Now look at that on the 1 minute, guys. That's a big move in the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, from there to here would be the spread. Okay. So all of this up to here would have been a profitable move if you take profit with this. Then the spread is paid and you made a little bit of money. How many of you guys have had people in your life say, let's say for instance, Leano. Leano, how many people in your life have you had that came to you and say, hey, Leano, here's $1 million. Start a business, do something with your life. In regards to how many people have you met in your life that found a way to get money from? Double top. Yes, that is a good thing to look at. And now you have the pattern labs where you can look at the liquidity and everything. So you know your range. You know what the range of the market is. Inspector is up and running. I'm busy doing upgrades. I want to show you guys what it looks like. I really do. So I think I should show you guys what more or less I am upgrading on the inspector. So you guys can kind of see what's going on with the inspector. So I think I'm gonna show you guys a little history. It was maybe liquidity too. So this is more or less an upgrade that I am currently making on the inspector of more refined entries. As we can see, it targets from liquidity to liquidity. Now for me, because of this strong liquidity over here, I'm not considering this a valid setup. Okay, let's go to the 15 minutes. Nothing is confirmed on the 15 minutes. I have found my range on the 1 hour. Look at that, guys. Look at that. This was the 1 hour analysis that the inspector gave out. And I also want you guys to take a look at the candles. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? Does it look nice for you guys? Okay, look at that liquidity sweep. Here's your double top that you were talking about, guys. There we go. All right. So this is what it actually looks like with the sweep happening. There's your retest on the risk boundary. And over here, the inspector has given its analysis, and currently price has already hit interest area 3. Yes, I am busy working on it. It is a difficult process because I'm gonna have to wait for XM to do their updates and stuff, and price and everything to come to a complete standstill, and then I can make my updates as well on the candlesticks and everything. So, and on the timers. So for now, let's work with what we have at the moment, because our data provider for the candlesticks has previously dropped us to a unexpected extent. So I had to build my own system that provides me with my own candlestick data. And I actually managed to build it in one day. I already had a kind of a system built for it prior. It wasn't fully functional, but I got it to function fully in one day. Then by the end of the day, everyone was back on track. So this is what it looks like, the new and improved version of the Inspector gadget. So how this version is gonna work is during the live sessions, before I release this version, I would be giving the people attending the live sessions a code that they can insert, and then it will be unlocked until the end of the next live sessions for you to get the new code in every live session. And the codes will only be handed out at random times. That way, it will encourage the users to be in the live sessions and understand what they're working with. So this would be my entry on the 1 hour time frame on gold. This would have been my entry. This would have been my stop loss. While I'm still refining it to kind of see if I can get it to actually get a little closer to this area, so it has a smaller risk boundary, and then all these will be my take profits. So if I'm trading the inspector, I would be doing one, two, three, four trades. I would be doing 4 trades on the inspector, which means on this entry, trade 1, 2, and 3 has already taken profit, and all my other trades are in break even. So trade 4 is in break even. He's the runner targeting area number 4. That's what gifts from God are for, Candy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do expect gold to make a head and shoulders over here. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm waiting for to see. I actually did say to you guys, I think it was last night on the group, that I wanted to do a scalp sell, but the price action wasn't confirming it, and it actually did end up confirming it. So this was my entry, and I was not using um, the inspector for this. I was actually testing it on German 40. So this is what it had on German 40. This was an entry that it gave on the 1 hour time frame with German 40. This was a massively, massively nice entry. Strong liquidity, as we can see, from liquidity all the way to liquidity. So I'm in on this. To be honest with you, I am still in on this. Um, some of my trades are in break even on this one. So on Monday, it would continue, and then these are all the symbols that it has. Let's see what it was doing on some of the indices. US Tech 100. Nothing happened yet that it was confirmed. Over here, nothing yet. There is some areas to be targeted, but there's not strong liquidity at the bottom supporting the move up to the previous liquidity yet on 5 minutes. Maybe on the 1 minute, there is something. There was a bearish analysis on the 1 minute time frame for US Tech 100. And look at that. This was a zero drawdown trade on the 1 minute. So currently it is waiting for confirmation for from this liquidity areas all the way to that liquidity areas. So this is just something that I wanted to show you guys. It is a very, very significant improvement that I have made on the Inspector gadget. So there's nothing yet that is supportive on Bitcoin for it. As we can see, guys, nothing significant yet. There is some liquidity on the 50-minute pushing to the downside, but there's no reversal liquidity that has been confirmed. So once reversal liquidity confirms, then only then it will do something. So as we can see, even on the 5 minutes, it did give a continuation liquidity to the downside. That liquidity got tested. So we'll have to see what's going to happen. So what it's currently waiting for is for a break above a liquidity area, a retest. On the retest, the next crossover, it will fire its analysis. So let's wait and see. Until then, I'm not doing anything. See the US 500 currently not in a strong good zone for it to give something significant, maybe 15 minutes. There we go. On the 15 minutes, it actually gave a 1-to-1 ratio on the 15 minutes on US 500, indicating that price is likely to target this area over here. So what I do is if it has a large boundary like this, I wait for price to come back to these zones as close as it can, then I'm doing my entry. So just because it shows the area over there doesn't mean I'm necessarily taking that into consideration. I'm waiting for it to come closer so I can have a tighter risk management. And yes, guys, these are liquidity areas. The UK 100, no data yet. No data. That's currently off. On the France 40. Okay, so that means that XM is probably doing its updates now. This is my time, but I'm going to do some updates on the inspector and the time on the candles and stuff. So I'm going to say to you guys, have a good day. This is what I have been waiting for. There we go, guys. Thank you, guys, and may all of you be blessed. See you in tomorrow's live. Have a lovely weekend, guys. I can't wait to see you tomorrow evening.